welcome to those of you who are joining us from all over the place. Kind of fun. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting weekend. I get one Sunday a month where I don't preach. Curtis Childs does. He speaks at New Church Live once a month. Does a wonderful job, and it was just kind of fun. Hanging out on the receiving end of things, and just noticing as well, like how many people now access things online. It's just a very different different world. It's not like I don't know. It's just interesting watching how much church has left the idea of a physical building. It's all over. And we still have a great group of people who gather in person on Sundays, and it's also great to see this online stuff sort of taking root too, which is super fun. So what I want to talk to you about today is this sort of a couple of things here with the book of Genesis. So we're looking at the creation story. We're looking at it poetically, metaphorically. Not that from a Christian New Church perspective, we don't believe in that it was 7 literal days of creation. We think about these as stages in our lives, and this is supposed to say something about God's creation of earth, and most importantly, God's creation of a human being, and a true human being, an angel, essentially. And so that's where we pick it up today. And I'm going to look at the line. This is Genesis 1, verse 3, 3 and 4. Then God said, this is really key. We're going to look at that. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. So one of my favorite little sermonettes is I love preaching on the idea that light is the first thing created and the first thing blessed. And I think that's really true, right? We get these precious little insights, and they grow out of our heart. They sort of resonate with our heart. Like, here's the inside out here, here's our heart out here. And we see something that resonates, a truth that's more along the lines of wisdom than just knowledge, a deeper knowing than just memorization. And it just resonates. And we can just feel in our hearts like, oh boy, that's really it. That really, really is true. And it's not a truth. My experience is it's not a truth that's ever weaponized. It's a truth that's kind of soft and beautiful and loving, and a truth that kind of aligns with our intention. I think that's super important. I really do believe the vast majority of people are really well intentioned. They, like all of us, can get lost really quickly in the worries, concerns, angers, petties, this, petty, that of life. But that our core intention, most people wake up every morning thinking, I want to actually be a good person today. And then, of course, we get lost in that. But the core intention, I think, of most people is pretty darn good. And the other part of this said in this blessing part, and we'll look at the word good tomorrow. Uh, of this blessing part is this, folks. It's this basic idea that God's love is God's love, however you want to put it. You can't ever separate God from God's love, obviously. That it's an action. And I want us just to hold that for a second. God's love is an action. Now, a lot of the time in life, being human beings, what we have is we subscribe to something very different. We sort of have, here's this idea that I'm saying that God's love is just an action, and we exist over here where we believe that all of God's love is an action and a reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. In other words, it's completely transactional. Another way to say that would be it's completely conditional. So God acts, and if we react properly, then good things happen. It's always this action, reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. And a much more powerful place to be is over here, where we just see God's love just as action. It's not action, reaction. It's not transactional. It's not conditional love. God speaks, and so it is. God speaks, and so there is light, and that light is blessed. Now, we, of course, being human beings, we can react to that. That's really important. But it's critical to remember we're not to take our action reaction sort of modality and apply that to God, because God's just like, no, I'm just love over here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be this loving, wise being. as embodied in Jesus. And that's just what I'm going to do. There's not going to be an action reaction. So what does that have to do with our lives? Well, folks, I think maybe there's a space. I mean, there always is a space for love as action reaction. I think that idea, there are many occasions, and this is going to sound a little crazy, where conditional love may actually help someone out. I remember reading that years ago about how some of the most significant figures in history, many of them have sort of been raised in very conditionally loving households. But as long as it's not taken too far, it actually can be a little healthy in the human mind, especially in our immature states, to get like, oh, I need to do things right, or bad things happen. That's simple, right? And we need to allow that to evolve. We need to clearly evolve to the place where we just see that love is that love is just this action. It just moves out there into the world. And how does that look to you? Like, how does that look to reflect that? Where might you be caught up today in a love as action reaction dichotomy or modality that's not serving you well? And you know what that place might be. And where can you instead just bring the idea of love to that? And it's not love that's your love per se. It is your love, but it's your love as a gift from God, a gift that's just to be passed on. Like, that's it. Not action reaction. It's just to be passed on. And when it just gets passed on, what do we create? We create light. And what gets blessed is light. So there's some ideas for you folks today, is trying to move beyond action reaction to just love as action. Period. And how other people receive that is totally on them, up to them. And our job is just as best we can to reflect God's love as a blessing in our life. And thank goodness he's so generous with all of us. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, friends. Well, that's what my thought is for today. Hope that finds you well. And I hope you have a great week ahead of you. Looking forward to joining you folks this week as we take a look at the book of Genesis. So with that, friends, let's get a little breath and a little meditation. So let's all breathe. Listen to the bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and bring you peace and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends. So let's get a little look here as to who's been able to join us on this rather chilly yet beautiful morning. And again, wishing all of you just a great week ahead. Okay, let's take a look here. All right. Rita, good morning to you, my friend. Jen writes, good morning, everyone. And Jen, we got a lunch with the pastor on the calendar, and I invited you and your beautiful family to it. Martha, great to see you joining us this morning. Hopefully, you're having a great morning, great start to the day. Linda, good morning to you, my friend. Paige, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Melissa, good morning to you and happy belated birthday, my friend. Carl asks where I might be caught up in today in action reaction, just plain action. Would love to get a solid answer to that question. Gonna have to work on Be Still. Yeah, it is kind of interesting, and it's not all bad, Carl. Right? Like I think there's sort of a level where we'll always have that action reaction, and underneath it is this abiding love. I look at good parents, of which you are one, and there's that abiding love, and of course sometimes the love appears as action reaction, but it's really based on a much deeper love than that. Just kind of interesting stuff to think about. Love in action is beautiful without expectations or conditions. Yeah, and that part, Linda, I think is really beautiful, and that's what God speaks into being. Mary, such good direction, but often so hard to implement in daily living. Amen to that, Mary. I totally get it. God guide me to follow. I mean, that's it. Just your will, not mine. Your will, not mine. And Marcus, good morning. Good morning to you, my friend. So, folks, just wishing you all the best this morning. Yeah, just have a great day, and God bless, and just think about that. Just hey, today just gonna act into love. Just try it. Just somewhere. Could just be on your commute this morning. I'm just gonna act into love. I'm gonna try to just steer clear of any action reaction stuff this morning and watch the light and bless it when you see it. All right, dear friends, take care. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.